Hi guys, this is FIFA Extra, and welcome to a squad builder for the Bundesliga with a 10k budget in mind. I'm just going to give you a run through of the team, quick look at each player's stats, and a guidance on what kind of price you get them for in the FUT market today. That price will be similar for PS3 and Xbox, although it may differ and may go down slightly as sort of time goes on and the market change. So we'll get started with the goalkeeper, Leno from Bayer Leverkusen. Um, the goalkeeper position isn't the most important position in the squad, I don't believe, not on this FIFA. So he's just a good keeper at this level, with good all-around stats, good diving at 82, decent kicking, decent reflexes. You know, just a solid keeper, and you can get him for about 500 coins. Next up at right back, Rafinha is really the only option at this kind of price. He's got good pace, not the best pace for right backs like worldwide, but he's really the only option to consider. The other option is the right back at Dortmund. I can't pronounce his name, but he's a lot more expensive at about 12,000 coins. So for 900 coins, Rafinha's straight in there at right back. At centre back we have Socrates. Not sure on the pronunciation there, but again, like a solid centre back for this kind of price. Real good pace, good defending, and good heading. Actually, for this kind of price, he's actually one of the best centre backs on the game. And that's what the Bundesliga really offer. Actually, a good choice in that centre back and defensive options for not much money. So with this guy, you can't go wrong at 900 coins. His partner Naldo had a lot more pace last season than he does this season, but still at 74, he sort of keeps his reputation as a good cheap centre back for the Bundesliga. Decent pace, good defending, not as good as Socrates with the heading, but still a good all-around defender, and you can pick him up for the same price at 900 coins. Next up is Smeltzer from Dortmund. A bit like Rafinha, really. The only other good choice, I believe, in this position is Alaba, and he'll cost you a lot more at Bayern Munich. So Smeltzer is kind of again in there by default. Good pace, again, not the greatest, but decent defending stats, and really your only option for this kind of price. So you can get him for about 1,200 coins. Next up, we're going to midfield, a central defensive midfielder option, and Jones is really one of them secrets. You know, he wasn't on the. You didn't see him in any teams last year at all, and this guy just gets about the pitch really well for a defensive midfielder. Real good pace, and sort of good defensive stats as well. Really, the two key stats I look for anyway. For CDMs, not the best heading. He's not like the strongest, not the biggest guy, and he's not the greatest technically as well. But he'll do a good job. And at 500 coins, he's probably the biggest bargain of the team as well. Next up is Thiago. Not really featured that much for Bayern this season, but still a valid, good, cheap option really. Not the quickest, but still can get around the pace get around the pitch fairly well. Good passing stats at 77 and good dribbling as well. Just a good, solid, all-around sort of central attacking midfielder really, and cheap as well at 700 coins. Next up, which I feel is the better option at Cam, is Draxler for Schalke. Sort of his stats are a lot more well-rounded than Thiago's, and a lot more centred in that in the stats that you look for in a Cam. Real good pace, good shooting stats as well, which is quite important for them long-range shots. 79 passing as well, and his dribbling also doesn't let him down at 85. So he's a real good central attacking midfielder on the cheap. You can get him at about 1,000 coins, and he's one of the biggest bargains of the squad as well. Next up, we move to attack. This guy I'd sort of recommend on the right wing or right mid. Herman from Gladbach. can obviously see the key stats here: 91 pace, 80 dribbling. You know, that's all I really look for in my wingers: good pace, to run onto them chip through balls in this game. Not the strongest guy, but I don't. That pace is just too good to ignore. So it's a good option at 800 coins. In the striker department, again, like there is quite a few options in the Bundesliga, but I'll go with Huntler. I think his stats are too well rounded to ignore at this kind of price, really. I do like my strikers with a bit more pace, but he's not the slowest at 71. But again, he's like shooting and heading stats more than make up for that. So just a good target man there, and you can get him for 900 coins. That left mid, in that sort of left wing, left mid position, Perisic, I think he's probably the weakest player I recommend in the squad. He's not the quickest. His shooting's alright, to be fair to him, and dribbling's okay. Heading's, pretty good actually for a winger as well. But there's not really sort of that many good options in left wing. Really to to get your value at left wing, I guess you're looking at Dortmund and Bayern, where that's kind of, you're looking at your Ribery's and your Royces, and yeah, they're not getting in the budget squad today, so you can get this guy for about 500 coins. Next up for reserve players, if you're not a fan of Leno, then Benaglio is a decent choice for Wolfsburg. If you maybe want better chemistry with Naldo, he can be bought for 500 coins. And actually, Toprak at centre back is another decent reserve. You kind of don't need him because Socrates and Naldo are so cheap and so good anyway. But maybe if you're going 5 at the back, you can switch Naldo into the centre, and Toprak would be a great sort of valid good option for that other centre back position. Real good pace, slightly weaker in defence and heading than the other two, but not that much, to be honest. Real cheap as well at 500 coins. Next up, left back reserve. I'm not sure again why you wouldn't want to go with Smeltzer in this position, but if you don't like the guy for whatever reason, then Jansen's a sort of decent option, but with really similar stats to Smeltzer, just a little bit weaker overall, and you can get him for about 800 coins. And again, another valid option in that sort of cam area, if you're looking at maybe a 4-2-3-1, Van der Vaart is a nice option to put in that playmaker role, in that central role. Just he hasn't got a lot of pace, but he makes up for that in dribbling, passing and shooting stats. So he's just another option really if you want to change the formation up, and you can get him for about 1,000 coins. The right mid, Varenya, is sort of another option instead of Herman. Not as quick as him, but sort of makes up for them stats sort of elsewhere basically in his dribbling. But to be honest, I prefer Herman. But if you want to change it up, then Varenya's another option at 500 coins. Onto a striker opportunity. This is for all you chip through ball players who need a fast guy up front to run onto them. And to be fair, Geoff is a great option. Look at them as sort of overall stats. For a non-rare, 79. He's got 88 pace. Not the best shooting in the world, but his heading's actually through the roof for a fast, quick striker. So he's a really good option if you're going 2 up front, or maybe instead of Huntler, for 600 coins. And going on to my sort of other players that are decent options if you're looking to expand the squad slightly. Mandzukic is a little bit more expensive, so if you've got more room in the budget, then I definitely recommend going out for Mandzukic, who's just all around 88 heading as well. but his all-around stats are great for a striker, and I'd even recommend keeping him until you can afford Lewandowski at Dortmund. So for 2,000 coins, here's a great bargain when you're looking to expand. Another option when you're looking to expand is Boateng. It doesn't cost you a lot more, again, only 1,700 coins, so if you have got that room um, to upgrade, then he's probably your best bet. 75 pace, 79 heading, 82 heading and 79 defending, so he's sort of really in that same league as Socrates and Naldo, just a little bit better, I believe. And you can pick him up for 1,700 coins. And last but not least, Gustavo. Again, he's a little bit more expensive, but not too much. So if you can afford him, definitely get him as maybe another option with Jermaine Jones for that CDM, or just as a replacement for him. Real good pace, gets around the pitch, good defensive stats, decent heading stats, and just a lot better passing than Jones as well. So at 1,600 coins, you don't need to sort of stretch too far to buy this guy. And that concludes today's Bundesliga Squad Builder with a 10k budget in mind. You can get that first team for about 8,800 coins on today's market. So there's a little bit more room if you have got a 10k budget to get them extra players, Mandzukic, Boateng, Gustavo, depending on what you prefer. Hope this has been helpful for anyone looking to build a Bundesliga squad. Make sure you check out the other videos for different leagues and different budgets. So good luck building your squad, and thanks for watching.